Right, yeah. Well, we did two records with there's Terry Bozzio and Tony Levin. And the idea of that was to just book a studio. We had just barely met, book a studio, go into the studio, no preconceived, nothing written. And the first record was really special in that way, that it is just three guys, never played together before. You put you roll tape. But at the same time, knowing that it's going to go out with no edits, there's a lot of pressure on me. I mean, I think Tony and Terry were more used to doing that, but I felt a lot of pressure to do that because you want to perform well. No, like I said, no overdubs. And then we did another one that was a bit more the Situation Dangerous second record, a bit more structured, and I think that was my way of avoiding the pressure of coming up with ideas in the studio. And I think maybe there should have been maybe a happy medium between the first one and the second one. Not so structured, but not so, off the cuff. I remember when we did the first record, things went on for very long pieces, and we tried to make edits, and it just didn't work. It didn't work when you edited it down. We all got very busy after that second record, and we did want to tour behind it, but Peter Gabriel's on the phone to Tony Levin, so he goes. Billy Idol's on the phone to me, and I think Terry had started to work with Missing Persons again, and then I know he did the Knack. But it's an incredible experience to work with musicians of such high caliber, and also really intelligent people. It wasn't just about music. I could talk about films, and they're really bright people. That's why they're such good musicians, because they're they're not just looking to bang chicks and do drugs, and that was a learning process for me, because it was really the first experience for me to work with musicians of that level and that caliber, and being able to hopefully hold up my own. I think maybe showed some people that I wasn't just this Billy Idol guy or this rock guy, that I could, play in the kind of progressive rock world, which is really my love and my roots, is all, early progressive rock. People don't think that when they think of Billy Idol, because it's kind of punk rock. But if you look into the music a bit deeper, you'll see some of my influences there. He had moved to Los Angeles, or had gotten a house in Los Angeles, and was working on one track, Native Stranger. So I got a call from, my manager called me and said, well, would you be willing to go in the studio to work with this Japanese artist? And I'll send you over some of the records that he's done. And I wasn't aware of him, but when I heard the albums, I was like, and then I was really impressed. And then to find out that he started his career kind of at the same time that I did with his previous band, like 1981. And there was a lot of parallels between musically what he was doing. So I thought, yeah, it doesn't matter, the language doesn't matter. And then we got in the studio, and he speaks English, and he was able to convey to me, this is what I want, I'm looking for this. So it didn't matter, it was like, and it was cool, it was fun. And I think we did a video together after. And then he asked me to do a tour, and it was exactly what I needed to do, because at that time, I was looking to kind of get out on the road, just play guitar, play every night. And this was 3 months in Japan, and I did that for 2 years. And I loved it, man. I loved Japan. Now my wife loves it, and when we get a chance to go over, it's, I think, it's a really technologically, people are looking for new technologies, and to be able to play for a Japanese audience is great for me. I think Japanese fans they're not as fickle. Sometimes they stay with your career a long time, whether you get old or not. They still go, yeah, I like that guy. And sometimes in other countries, they go, he was from the 80s or something like that. It's, you know, it's kind of cool. Depends on the influence. I think some Japanese, I mean, you can't categorize a whole country, but I think technique is important. Whereas here's the difference, in the 90s, grunge music was so important in the United States. So if you had technique, it was looked at as a bad thing, you know, because you had Nirvana and Pearl Jam and all this kind of Seattle stuff, which was very simple guitar playing. And then, you know, so I was in Japan and technique was still a cool thing. And then I remember I went to see, there were some cool girl bands as well. And there was one female trio band I went to see, actually when they came here. X-Girl, maybe? Yeah, I think that was the name. Three-piece girl band, and incredible harmonies and stuff. And just thought, you know, they were being experimental, you know, much like fashion is experimental in Tokyo. And I thought, you know, it was interesting to me because it was new, you know, and I always like things that are new, you know, different. Yeah. Yeah, I had done a record with the singer Motley Crue, Vince Neil, and and we were out on the road supporting Van Halen, which was just a great opportunity and a, you know, fucking huge challenge, because if you're going to open up for Eddie Van Halen, you better play well, because Van Halen fans know, you know, and so we did that, and I thought I was kind of burnt out by the end of that tour, playing as fast as I could and as loud as I could, and you know, it was very much this hard rock, heavy metal thing. And and I got off the road, and I said, well, you know, I'm not going to do that again. I can't just continue to do what I'm doing. And that by that time, it was over a year of doing that. And as luck would have it, I had tickets to go see Paco de Lucia at the Wilton Theater. And that's about 3,000 people. And they would just, you know, here's this guy, one guitar, playing flamenco. And people were really listening, you know, and attentive. And then I saw women crying in the audience. He was so emotional. And I thought, if I could do something emotionally, like to have any impact like that. And I really, I stopped playing electric guitar for a year to do that record. And it was a good exercise for me to be able to express myself, because the strength of that record is really the writing, you know, because there's no, apart from like one Arabic singer, and there's no singing on the record. I had never done instrumental before, instrumental record, and I certainly didn't want to do a record like a Steve Vai or a Satriani, because they're already doing that, and they're doing it really well. And Jeff Beck is, to me, the ultimate instrumental guitar player. He really, you don't ever get bored listening to Jeff Beck. So I decided to do something on flamenco guitar. I'm not a flamenco guitarist, and some people said, well, he doesn't play pure flamenco. That's not the idea, is that I'm using a flamenco instrument. I'm really proud of that record. It's one of the, was one of the best moments for me as a musician, and it came very naturally. And I think there's a lot of true emotion in the record. You can tell that it's somebody discovering themselves as a musician, and somebody that's in a very healthy emotional state. It was a good time for me. I got to mix the record in Hawaii with David Tickle, and I love, it was the first time I had been in Kauai, and the island's beautiful, and the beaches, and it was just a healthy, great experience for me. I'm really happy with that record. Yeah, I was almost going to, on Memory Crash, the next instrumental record, I was almost going to do one side acoustic, one side electric, but it was too close to the time of doing Flamenco a Go-Go, and I wanted to do more electric stuff. But I'll definitely revisit the flamenco side of things. I've done a couple of flamenco shows here in Los Angeles, and And there's a incredible guitarist named Ben Woods, who's a flamenco guitarist. So, you know, he's always, I like to listen to the real flamenco guys and then translate it to how how my technique is. And so he's become really invaluable, because otherwise I have to listen on CD, you know, to Paco de Lucia or Gerardo Nunez, and, you know, but having Ben right there play it, how do you do that, you know? So it's cool. So definitely I will revisit that. Yeah.